I just want to do this real quick because I just want to see WhiteNight. We'll just get that. And what does... Oh, wait a minute. She can still switch stances while here as well. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I have broken some things. I didn't Okay, so there's some interesting interactions when you combine Purple Tear and WhiteNight. I did not know that's how that would work. That is a big whoopsie.
Also, manager, may I call thee stupid for that move?
I didn't know. I was just curious. Remember, this is all just kind of non-consequential. I didn't know what the hell it would do. All right, I have no idea what this is going to look like next turn because she is still synchronized. So this is just her in this now. Okay, she's just this now, I guess. WhiteNight in appearance only for now, I guess. And that should be the desynchronization now. Well then.
I never thought I'd see a god use it, Chichi.
Look, you come to Loon streams for the truly special moments. She'll die. Why is it different? Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute.
Manager, I think that broke everything up.
So Purple Tear switching out of WhiteNight broke that. Now I switch back. No one else is currently an Apostle either, I'm noting. Is this supposed to happen? You enjoy your sleep skipping. I'm trying to figure out how I just broke the game. Apparently, if you use Purple Tear's stance swap while in WhiteNight, it causes problems.
Good night, Skybeck. Also, manager, do it.
So, yeah, I tried to switch stance of Purple Tear while in WhiteNight to give the different benefits. Did not realize that would lead to the WhiteNight's cards. Well, the fight's over, and... do I even have the ability to... Okay, I can't switch right now. It's still too soon. We're just gonna end this fight and call her good. That's the one that calls the Apostles. Oh, and... I was so confused for a moment there. Hey, Editing Loon here. So I didn't realize this at the time because A, everything else that was breaking, and B, I had not used WhiteNight's key page at this point yet. When using the mass individual page, the final attack is supposed to be the pulse from WhiteNight himself, but because the proper WhiteNight for that animation was not on screen, and instead we had tied up WhiteNight, the game looks like it just got confused for a little bit, trying to think, what should I do? Before finally deciding, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do damage. Okay. And I'm just gonna come in one more time because a lot of stuff happened in those last 7 seconds of that fight. Oh boy, where the hell do I even begin? Okay, let's start with the obvious one. I have no idea why one sin and 100 good deeds just decided to show up literally in the middle of this guy getting attacked. Actually, while we're here, I don't know why one sin would be showing up at all when synchronizing with WhiteNight, and on top of that, why, as we pull out the camera angle, does he get pushed behind the ground and slowly sink into the floor as the combat ends? Also, while the camera is doing its pull-out thing, for some reason, the background is panning up and down between the dark background that is supposed to be here with imprisoned WhiteNight and the general floor of religion background. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff happened right here in those 7 seconds for some reason. I just wanted to see what WhiteNight looked like, and,
For a second, I thought you soft
All this, manager, is we found a breakthrough to have WhiteNight without apostles.
Apparently, yes, apparently, if you switch stance while in Purple Tier mode, you get the regular Purple Tier deck. And then if you desync and resync with WhiteNight, the next time you do it, you will be synchronized with WhiteNight, but not have apostles. Also, it'll be a different background. Is that background supposed to even be there when you're synchronizing like that? Okay, you know what? I just wanted to see what that would look like, and I found out what breaking the game looks like. That background is not supposed to be there. Good to note. I found several ways to... you saw WhiteNight hitting the Gigi. Note to self, when use Emma Purple Tier with WhiteNight, do not change stance. Stance change, bad idea. Well, how fitting. I get the power of a god, and the first thing I do with it is break everything. And that's where this video originally was going to end. Just a fun little recap of the bugs encountered on stream. However, when I went back to get the footage of the mass attack page going off, I discovered one thing that kind of led me down a rabbit hole. Turns out this key page is a lot more broken than I thought it was at first. So we're just gonna go over some of the stuff I discovered in my day of breaking the game. First off, I'm just gonna correct what I said in the live. This bug has nothing to do with the purple tier page. All it takes to trigger this bug consistently is to just use the synchronization page twice back to back in the same act. However, it goes a bit deeper than that, because if you do that, not only will you get WhiteNight to have a different appearance than he normally should have, but he will also be present from the beginning of any fight that you start after the one you triggered this in. Until you restart the game, he will just be there. And just so we're clear, this is not just for the Floor of Religion. He will be there for the fights you start with any floor until you restart the game in this tied up form. But I did find if you choose to use him on the Floor of Religion, there's a few interesting things that can happen, and I'm just gonna let that play out for you real quick. This was the moment I realized I had pushed too far, by the way. But I didn't stop here. In my curiosity, I decided to try a long fight to see if I couldn't use the page 3 times, because if 2 was doing this, I figured 3 might have a different effect. So I went to the reception of the crying children, because I knew that one was long, still only got the 2 uses off, but it led to something new. So it took me a bit to actually figure out what exactly triggered this, because I had actually forgotten I did the crying children reception before this happened. But as far as I can tell, at the very least, the melee fights seem to cause this. Maybe it's something to do with special changing backgrounds, I'm not entirely sure. I only tested this on the crying children, and I attempted one on Jan. And if you are curious, yes, this version of WhiteNight works exactly the same way as the tied up one, where it can go to any floor after this. And once again, it seems to be a permanent fixture until you reset the game. Also, I really didn't even know where to put this in because it's kind of unrelated to everything else, but I found it anyway. I have no idea why, but for some reason, whenever using the penitence card, this happens. I have no idea why for the transition, WhiteNight is both bound and unbound at the same time. I don't know, the Floor of Religion is just very broken. But yeah, aside from a slideshow of miscellaneous images I captured during my testing, thank you guys for watching. There is one final little funsy here at the end of this little slideshow though, so enjoy.